Dun, 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 dun. This is the biography of the heroic red blood cell named Bob. Did you know that on average, the red blood cells take about 1 minute to circulate around the body system? Whoa! A healthy heart would make a lub-dub sound in each beat. Let me introduce you to Bob. Bob is a red blood cell in your body, and he is going to be your tour guide for the day. First of all, if you guys didn't know, Bob starts off being a deoxygenated red blood cell. You might be wondering, where did the red blood cell come from? Well, it is born in the red bone marrow, which is in the skeletal system. There are two types of blood cells, white and red. The white blood cells help fight off bad bacteria so it does not affect you and give you any diseases. Today we will be talking and focusing on the red blood cell. First of all, if you guys didn't know, Bob starts off being a deoxygenated red blood cell. If Bob wants to have oxygen again, firstly, he needs to travel back to the heart in the superior vena cava. Bob then has to enter the right atrium. The right atrium contracts and pushes it through the tricuspid and into the right ventricle. After this, the right ventricle contracts and Bob pushes out of the heart through the semilunar valve. Bob makes its way to the pulmonary artery into the lungs. Then Bob would pick up the oxygen and travel back to the heart through the pulmonary vein. Bob, the oxygenated red blood cell, moves to the pulmonary vein. Then Bob would go through the left atrium. The left atrium contracts and Bob pushes through the mitral valve and into the left ventricle. Oh my god, the walls are so much thicker than the right ventricle!
So this is a heart diagram with a pacemaker. It doesn't really look like this, but a pacemaker is a group of cells that send signal to make the right atrium contract, and it helps with the heart rate.
The left ventricle contracts. Afterwards, Bob goes through the aorta valve out of the heart and into the aorta. Oh my god, this aorta is huge! Don't get lost, Bob. Don't get lost. Bob goes to the aorta and travels to the rest of your body. After this, Bob leaves behind the oxygen and he said, "Oh my god, there are so much extra glucose and sugar here in the ring finger. I have dips on it." Bob would go to the capillaries and pick up carbon dioxide. Lastly, Bob goes through the inferior vena cava and into the heart again. Bob would go through this process 1,000,000 times until Bob gets old and would die. The good news is, Bob Jr. would take over the career of Bob, continuing to carry oxygen and so on.
Oh my god, did you fall? There's so much blood! Platelets, come help stop it! Yay, no more blood! Do you know what will happen if platelets weren't available? Blood will be flowing everywhere. So if you have a scratch right here, blood will keep flowing and flowing and flowing out and won't stop. So thank you, platelets. So as you can tell in the diagram, plasma is a liquid form of blood, and it just holds white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets together. And plasma is actually not pink, it's kind of yellowish. And yeah.
Here's a farewell from Bob.